Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is Joel Duggan and this is the Friday LEGO Let's Chat. It's back. This is the second week. We've been working on the LEGO Transformers Bumblebee set, which is set 10338. It is very cool so far. We have worked on the front fender slash, I guess, wheel hub of the Volkswagen Bug. It's actually Bumblebee's feet and they come apart like that. And so we built them separately, but then the instructions were to combine them. So it looks like we're going to be building Bumblebee as the vehicle first, and then possibly changing him into the robot later. With Optimus Prime, it was the opposite. We built him as a robot, and then there were instructions to turn him into the truck. Dan Grace, good to see you. Retro Shaggy, what's up? Zero, hello. It has been a while. All good, yeah, all good. All good, all good. I had a busy day yesterday, so if I'm a little bit tired, then I apologize. But it's been a good week so far. Zero T666 subscribed to Tier 1, 25 months, 12-month streak. Thanks you so much, Zero. Really appreciate it. Good to have you. Oh boo! Thanks for the lurk. Appreciate it. All right, I'm gonna move this over here. The thing I like about this set so far is that the bags are small. So I find there's a really good balance between opening a bag, laying it out, putting it together, and then rinsing and repeating and doing that again. I find that with some of the other sets we've done, some of the bags have been huge. And so it takes an hour just to go through it. These are some cool pieces. I'm guessing leg would be my initial thought. So how's everyone this morning? Mikatu, hello, good to see you. All the regulars are in. Always nice. It's funny now, if I didn't null out the pieces, I could separate them into little piles like this and we'd be off to the races in no time. Sandy says it's a warm day again. It was cold last night. Like I was walking through a local fair and I was in shorts and a hoodie. Me in a hoodie this time of year is just bizarre. I run hot. So for me to have a sweater on, it's chilly. But like it was really quite cold. I think most people here right now are regulars, but if you are watching this later on Joel Duggan VODs on YouTube, or if you're new, I like to null out the pieces. And it is the process of laying out different items at right angles to one another. And I find that it extends the build process, which means I get more fun out of each Lego set that I buy. I also find it makes the building process a lot easier. So when you're looking for pieces, it's a lot easier to sort out what you need. And I also find it satisfying. Mikatu says we've had quite a lot of rain the last couple days. My brother has been upset about it. He's the one who complains the most about summer heat. Yeah, I don't want it to be super hot, you know, but there's something very odd when you're halfway through summer and you go outside and it feels like fall, like early fall. It's like as a Canadian, it hits you in the gut like, whoa, this is not going to last forever. Something's going to change soon. Although normally what you do is you get that like in September. You'll get that first pang of fall. But this time it was July. I honestly, like, usually this time of year it is really hot. Mid to late July, the last couple of years, it's been like, we've had days where it was 40 degrees with the humidity. I'm glad we don't have that right now. I used to run outside, like I used to jog, and now I do all my workouts in the gym. But when it was mostly outside stuff, this is the kind of weather I loved, because it's so hard to run in super hot weather, and you just end up having to get up super early or run late at night in the dark, because it's too hot, and honestly can be kind of dangerous otherwise. I think 1 year I just needed to get my training in, and I ran on a really hot day, and I didn't hurt myself, but I definitely had a problem doing anything the rest of the day. So I probably had like mild heat stroke. Yeah, I haven't gone for a run in a very long time. I walk a lot, like a lot. I think I've mentioned before that the gym is a good, probably 3.5 kilometers away. So I do at least 7 when I work out. And of course I'm training and lifting while I'm there. Not very straight, but we'll get her done. Bag number 3. A new flex joint element was created for this set. Oh, cool. The element allows the torso of Bumblebee to fold and connect to his legs when converting to vehicle mode. Right on. So that's these things here. I wonder how they justify making new pieces like that. Like, I mean, worth it for the Bumblebee, but like, do they then look at that and think, down the line, there'll be lots of other uses for this? I mean, maybe if they've got other Transformer builds in mind, then maybe it's worth it. Next, like that. We're using the cool pieces right away. I like that they give you like the click indication. Now this one looks like it's going to turn. It's got little teeth. Yep. And we do the same thing over here. Oh, okay. So it's like, I feel like that's kind of like a spine, I guess, maybe. I thought it was a leg. Could be both. You do a combination of muscle training and cardio, the running being the cardio. My walking is my cardio. I find running too hard on my back and my knees now. I also was a bit heavier last year, and so I dropped 20 pounds. I could probably go for a run now. Right now I need new shoes. I won't run on the shoes that I have. But no, my cardio is usually walking, which scientifically is like the best way. When I wasn't walking to the gym, like if I go to the gym and I'm on the treadmill, then the treadmill is on like a super steep incline and I'm walking basically as fast as I can for like 20 minutes. So, and it's much less impact than jogging. I hate the elliptical. They drive me nuts. I can't stand them. I'd rather just walk. Plus, I find that when I'm walking, I can listen to a podcast. But yeah, most of my training is resistance training, strength training. I think I've mentioned this on the Spun Chunks. Maybe not on the Spun Chunks directly, but certainly on the render distance. I don't know how much I've talked about it here on stream. I don't know about, I mean, it's been a long time of LEGO Let's Chess. I could have mentioned this before, but I, in my late teens, early 20s, was a amateur bodybuilder. And, I mean, obviously I'm not anymore. Both. Not am I a competitive bodybuilder, and I'm also not in my, I'm not in my 20s anymore. That was a long time ago. But now I'm just training for strength and some aesthetic weak points and just longevity, like having strong, you know, hips and knees and shoulders and all that kind of stuff. I still lift heavy. Like that's something I don't think I will ever lose interest in, is lifting heavy. The last year or so, I've been doing super slow negatives. So on, you know, it's a controlled positive motion, but then if you're going on the negative motion, it's like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc., which is a lot under heavy weights. I've had to drop my weights. Like I had to drop probably about 10 to 15% off the top of my normal weights in order to maintain that kind of control. I was just feeling up too early, which is great. Like that's what I wanted. And again, the science there is that the eccentric part of the movement is actually more important, and that is where you're going to get more muscle stimulation. And so that's what I've been doing. And I've found great results. Like I've definitely seen changes, certainly strength changes. I've hit a couple of PRs in the gym. I hadn't done pull-ups probably in a, proper wide grip pull-ups probably in like 10 years. And so I started off only being like doing around 3, and now I'm up to like 5, 5, and 4 right now for sets. But that's doing that 5-second negative. So like you do a chin up, but then like you lower yourself down slowly over 5 seconds. Makatu says, I'm not a sporty person. I enjoy walking, though, and have a walk pad. Yeah, nice. I know a couple people that have walk pad. Missing here. Right to the edge. Sometimes I find the gloss on the instruction manual can be kind of hard to see. I know it reflects sometimes into the camera, but there's nothing I can really do about that. I guess I could have them on an iPad, but there's something very nice and tactile about having paper instructions for Lego. I think one of the things I like about it, despite the fact that I'm obviously like on stream and I do have an iPad right next to me for the chat room, I like the non-digital stuff in front of me. Like most of the time, I'm not looking at a screen while I'm doing this. I'm just sitting here putting things together. So I was right. This is a leg, but it's a separate thing than the first thing we built. Very chunky. Uh-oh. Oh, right. One of my favorite Lego detail pieces, the grill. I love that these pieces are pre-printed, that we don't have to put a sticker on them. Stickers are not it. Oh, we're covering up the grill. That's weird. I guess it's supposed to kind of line up with that. I like that this set has a very specific number of studs visible. I think they're doing it very intentionally, and I like the proportions. Cosmic Dancer subscribing at tier 1 for 6 months in advance. Thanks very much, Cosmic. Look what I found. I was hoping for flowers, but this is okay too. Well, that's good to know. Thanks very much, Cosmic. I really appreciate it. 6 months in advance. Wow. So this is interesting for anybody that's a streamer or wants to know a little bit of behind the scenes. Twitch said Cosmic Dancer subscribed at tier 1 for 6 months in advance. But Streamlabs on my notification just says that you subscribed to tier 1. So if I saw one notification and not the other, then I would not have noticed that. It's very cool. Well, cool that you did that, not cool that Twitch is giving me different information. $84 months total. Thank you, Twitch, for ruining my lovely sub streak number. Oh, really? What happened with Twitch, Cosmic? If you don't mind sharing. Also, 0T666. Did I catch that it was 12 months in a row for you? It was more than 12 months total, I think. I thought we just did like a 2-year thing recently. But 12 months in a row, that's awesome. Oh. So Lego was like, did you like doing that? You've got to do it again. Fine. Yes, that's the thing about symmetrical builds like this, is that you very often have to. Did you like that? Do it again. Rinse and repeat. Uh, 25 and 12 in a row, and now on Patreon instead of here, so my streak is going out the window also. Right. Yes. No, I appreciate the switch to Patreon, Zero. For anybody in the chat that's wondering, Patreon is a cheaper way to support me. Twitch is going to depend on your country. It's usually around $5 US a month. I see half of that. Whereas on Patreon, it's right now $2 US to join the Discord and support me on stream. There aren't the well, there. Do I have on-screen notifications for Patreon? I don't think I do. But I see more of that from Patreon. Patreon only takes like 10% because I've got a grandfathered in Patreon account. Been using Patreon for a long time. Back when I used to draw comics. It just didn't show us 84 months total. I just told you I'd subscribe for 6 months in advance. Streak intact, just Twitch showing at least the least important part of my subscription. Oh, it showed 84 months total on my end, Cosmic. I just didn't read it out loud. Yeah, if I read the Streamlabs, it says Cosmic Dancer has resubscribed at tier 1 for 84 months in a row, 84 months total. And then it has your little checks pockets. Look what I found. Quote. Have you been streaming for 84 months or more? Yes. My streamiversary I think is in March somewhere. And I want to say if the Spawn Chunks is turning 7 next month, I've been streaming for 8. I think that's how that goes. Also, Cosmic has been around here from very, very early on. So Cosmic, what's 84 divided by 12? Someone do the math. I was streaming longer, much longer than the Spawn Chunks. I was doing my own streams earlier than that. 84 divided by 12 is 7. Did you find me just before the Spawn Chunks, Cosmic? I thought it was the other way around. All right, so we've got this, and then these go in there. Aha. That's cool. Nice. Very similar to the original toy. A new 2x4 decorated black tile has mechanical details reminiscent of the Transformers 1984 cartoon character. Oh, nice. Bag 4. Uh, 28. How did the Spawn Chunks start? I was getting into Minecraft in 2017 and 2017? Yeah. When did the Spawn Chunks start? 2018. So in 2017, I was getting into Minecraft and I started watching Pixel Riffs. I started watching Survival Guide. Well, did he start the Survival Guide? I think I found him through... Oh gosh. What was the name of the series? Decidedly Vanilla, I want to say. He was doing some cool stuff there. I really enjoyed his content, and I shared his content on Citadel Cafe. And I then had the idea to do a Minecraft podcast. And I wanted someone to do it with, because I was currently, I think at the time I was doing this, like at the time I was doing another show. I was doing the Comics Coast to Coast podcast. And so I invited Pixel Riffs onto the Citadel Cafe for an interview and just a hangout. And it was great. It was really fun. And I thought, okay, there's someone I can really work with. And I gave myself a couple of months to think about the idea for a podcast. And then I invited Johnny back on the show. And just kind of like a double check to make sure that we could basically talk about anything and have a good vibe, and we did. And so that was somewhere in early summer, like May, June of 2018. And then I pitched the show to him, and we launched the Spawn Chunks by August. Like we came up with the idea, the format, and everything in a month or so, and we just launched it. And it was a lot easier for me to bring in what at the time would have been my third podcast, because I was able to work with Johnny, who was willing to do some of the do the audio editing and stuff. So it meant that I didn't have to do 100% of a third show myself, and that was a big deal, because I was line producing on Comics Coast to Coast, which meant that I was emailing and scheduling guests. I had to be there for the recordings. It was an interview show. There was a lot of prep. You had to read people's comics. You had to ask questions. There's a lot of prep for this Comics Coast to Coast. And which was a great show. I got to interview some of my comic heroes. It was amazing. But it was a lot of work. And that show kind of went away when the pandemic happened. Like everybody just kind of needed to attend to their own things. But with the Spawn Chunks, one of the reasons I think we have been so successful is that we have not missed a week. Early on, we scheduled off weeks for holidays, like for the Christmas holidays, but we have not missed by accident a week in 7 years. I have missed one show from being sick, and that was it. And that was just recently. So I think I made it to 347 episodes before I couldn't. I just had a sinus infection. It was just awful. But when the pandemic happened, I told Johnny, I was like, look, I don't want to make light of a very difficult world wide situation, but we have a captive audience, a lot of whom are home from school and are Minecraft players, varying in age from like, 13, 14 to 20 something. And if we just lean into this podcast, make sure we don't miss a week, absolutely make sure that we are providing content, then we could probably do very well. And we did. That's basically what happened. But in terms of how it started, it was just me being a fan of Johnny and his work. You can look up those interviews. They're still out there. If you go to the citadelcafe.com and you just type in Pixel Riffs, there should be 2 episodes. Well, there'll be more than that now because he's come on the show and guested a number of times. But if you look back at 2018 and look for episodes of the Citadel Cafe with Pixel Riffs, then you'll find the initial kind of like guest spot. You may also find the episode where I shared his work before he was on too. We're coming up on episode 500 of the Citadel Cafe. I haven't heard back from Steven, but we might be recording that tonight for this episode. Yep, SpongeChunk's first episode was August 10th, so we're coming up on 7 years. Hey, Eclipse, how's it going? There was lots of podcasts, Mikatu. There was several Minecraft podcasts, one of which had been around for quite a while before we started the Spawn Chunks. But first thing I did when I thought I'd like to make a Minecraft podcast, I had the same thought that you did, which was like, there has to be a Minecraft podcast out there. And the problem was that what shows were out there had not been updated in several years. And what was available in archives, they were super vulgar. They were not great to listen to. And I just thought, like, these people are not necessarily considering the potential audience by being, quite colorful in their language. And I won't name names, but like I also just didn't like the podcast. So I thought, you know what? I feel like I can probably do this better. And both Johnny and I make family-friendly content. Like, I mean, every now and again, I'll do like a Borderlands stream or something like that, and it'll be a little colorful and fun. But we're adults; we can use adult language. And Johnny will do that too if he's playing a game that has that kind of content. But as far as Minecraft is concerned, our Minecraft content is family friendly and accessible to everyone, and I think that's a key part in why the Spawn Chunks has done pretty well. I think early on we had some emails from parents that were like, "This is great. My kid loves Minecraft. I like playing Minecraft with my kid, and then now my kid and I can, listen to your podcast in the car." Back and forth to school or back and forth to soccer practice or whatever they're doing. They both learn something, but the parents would be just like, I love that we can listen together. I love that I don't have to constantly explain to my kid, like, don't say those words, like, don't, that's not necessarily how you should say that. And so we've taken that to heart as a super kind compliment, and you know. Well, thanks. I'm glad you find the show charming. We have really hit a groove. I mean, after 7 years, Johnny and I mean, what's really funny is that if we have a heavy news week, it's a pretty tight show. Like, we'll get the news out there, talk about our thoughts and opinions, have a discussion, and then wrap it up. And it's about an hour and 15. And that's pretty average. But if there's a week where there's not a lot of stuff, like there's not a lot of news from Mojang, or we have a broader kind of like theme as opposed to a specific topic discussion, those shows are longer. Like Johnny and I, without guardrails, we will absolutely talk forever. We'll hit an hour and 20. The render distance will hit like 2 hours, when normally it's about an hour and 40, hour and 45. For anybody that's listening that doesn't know what the render distance is, the render distance is the extended version of the podcast that we give out to our patrons. And so if you support the show at patreon.com/thespawnchunks, then you get access to 15 to 30 minutes of extra podcast every single week. Johnny and I just turn the mics on and kind of warm up our voices and talk about like gardening or movies or video games or like whatever we've been doing. And we do that for about 15 minutes, and then we start the show. And then in the post show, we sometimes continue the Minecraft conversation, but most times it's also just like, oh, tell me about that video game that you played, or like, you know, talk about what your plans are, vacations, or like that kind of thing. Movies. This past week, I gave a little kind of like initial review of my Superman viewing on the Render Distance post show. But the pre-show, I can't remember what the pre-show was about this week. It was maybe about sci-fi. I think I was watching Star Trek. I think that was the thing. You forget how bright the yellow is in Lego until you put it next to some of the darker blocks. I wish that Minecraft had their yellow right. I've got a custom yellow, I think it's yellow concrete and yellow stained glass. I've changed it so it's not like creamy. They've made a really ugly yellow. Same thing with the hay. Hay bales in Minecraft are awful. Something I've been really trying to do more of is short form video, but I find it challenging to find the clips because my streaming content is pretty chill, and a lot of online clips tend to be a lot more exciting. And I've been meaning to go through and do more of the clip editing from the Spawn Chunks, but it's harder because of the way that the video is edited for YouTube to make the clips look good. But one of the clips that I recently shared from my own personal Twitch channel was when I popped into Cosmic's storage room and stole /borrowed a a bit of mangrove wood. And it just goes to show you that you can never tell what's going to pop off. Like, I've got some pretty cool Twitch clips, things that I thought were pretty funny from Satisfactory or from Minecraft or whatever. And this clip of me stealing something from Cosmic has done, like, my average view on TikTok is like a couple hundred, maybe up to 600 or 800. I've got one video that did like, 2,000. I'm nearly at 9,000 views on this particular clip of me stealing something from Cosmic's inventory or storage. So part of the frustration in wanting to create more content like that is that you have to create and then just, I guess, leave it up to the algorithm gods as to what is going to take off and actually bring in some views. And of that, like, I've got no idea how many of those views end up coming to my Twitch channel, watching the YouTube video. I've got no idea. All right, we are just about at the first hour, just a little bit short of that, so it's probably a good time to take a short break. I like the clip too, Cosmic. I thought it was funny. I think it was funnier to the people that maybe know me as opposed to new people, but I guess I was wrong. The roundtable episodes have been left behind, Makatu, because there's just so much news. Mojang has changed the news cycle. They're updating Minecraft so frequently now that we very rarely have a no news week. Between Bedrock and Java now, it's like there's something new every week, which is great. I'm not complaining. I much prefer that. Also, the roundtables were great early on because it allowed us to talk about some of the broader Minecraft conversations. But after nearly 360 episodes, like we've talked about it all, basically. Thanks, Cosmic. All right, folks, I need to take a short break. I'll be back in about 5 or 6 minutes. All right, what page did I say? 28? Yes. Thank you, Sandy. So does anybody have any big plans for the weekend? I'm probably going to be working most of it. I've got the Citadel Cafe tonight, I think. I've got an extra recording with the Spawn Chunks tomorrow because we do the community Minecraft hangout once a month, and it's the last Saturday, so that's happening tomorrow. And then I've got my regular stream tomorrow as well. We'll be back in Minecraft tomorrow. Very technical bits. Just curious, with the clips from Twitch, I know you share them as YouTube Shorts and on TikTok. Is there a facility to share them on Instagram as real as stories? Yeah, I could. I just haven't yet. The wrong thing. Oh no, they've got the sides. Okay. Yeah, I just haven't pulled it down to share it on Instagram. Normally the thing to do, because TikTok is the best way that I know how to make the captions. I normally the process is I make the clip on Twitch, and then from Twitch I can export to YouTube and to TikTok, but I send it to TikTok as a draft, and then I go into the draft on TikTok and I put captions and maybe a link if I need to, and then I can usually then download that from TikTok and post it on Instagram. I find the quality suffers. Like, I find that when you download it from TikTok, it's not quite what you expect. But then it's also, I mean, on YouTube Shorts it has a lot of views too, but I don't really see any kind of conversion from that. I don't get a lot of views on my YouTube channel. The Bedrock video is doing pretty well out the gate. That was only published yesterday, and that's already got like 70 views. Your birthday is this weekend. Eclipse, that's amazing. Happy birthday. Going on summer camp with the Netherlands of all places. Only a 2.5-hour drive. Very cool. That sounds like a good... and France 2 weeks back. France, nice. Wasn't sure if there was a thing that was integrated for Instagram, and not sure what discovery is from that app. I find Instagram, I've got no way to track it. Like, I've got no way to tell you whether someone comes in from Instagram or not to my content. That's why I ask when I get new viewers here on Twitch. I always ask, like, hey, how did you find the stream? Because it's really hard to tell otherwise. Most of the time, somebody's come in from the spawn chunks, usually. Although lately it's been the front page. Like, I've been streaming and getting new people in the morning, and I find that when I ask them, like, hey, where'd you find the stream? They're usually like, front page of Twitch. Don't know how far this is supposed to go in. I guess we'll find out later. Oh, it goes all the way. Okay. That is very cool and very technical. Curious what that's going to be like. Maybe his torso? I don't know. SweetSandi, 100 weekend bits, birthday bits. Happy birthday to Eclipse RM. Very cool. Yes, happy birthday again, Eclipse. Dom, hello, hello. I think I was originally just scrolling through the Minecraft category. Yeah, no, exactly. We've had that a lot. That's one of the reasons why. I mean, like, my main motivation for changing my stream time to early morning for me, to 10 a.m. for me, was it's not as warm. My studio doesn't get as uncomfortably hot. I have more time after the stream to, like, go work out. And I find that because I podcast in the morning, I do find that I'm more alert. I want to say, like, I'm more likely to be energetic first thing in the morning than a warm afternoon where things are getting hot. And then it's also a nice new time slot, so that in the process of, like, it's a slightly better summer schedule for me, I'm also getting new people. And that's part of the issue that I've had over the last, I don't know, year, is that we've had diminishing returns. I've not been able to grow the Twitch channel at all. If anything, I think it's gotten a little bit smaller. And in order for me to keep doing this as part of my job, I need to make sure that it's growing. that going to actually go in there? There we go. And so if you're new, welcome. And if you are someone that likes to recommend Twitch channels to friends, then by all means, if you want to let some people know that, you know, I'm here, the community is here, I feel like we have a pretty chill, pretty good time. And I'm hoping that that's something we can grow and continue. Because, you know, algorithms and all the stuff we just talked about with TikTok and Instagram, like it's really hard to bring in new people. Because the algorithms, even if you follow me, there's no guarantee that you're going to see my post or see my stuff. This is wild. What am I building? It's cool. Man, the engineering in these Transformer Lego sets is wild. So obviously something connects to there. So cool. Eclipse says, I do like catching the stream before work. Oh, cool. That's nice to know. Dom says, you are from Canada, I presume, based on your about under the stream. So it is generally 10 your time. You start streams? Good to know. Yeah, the schedule is up. I made the adjustment to the Twitch schedule. So if you go to my Twitch schedule page, you'll see Tuesday through Friday, it's 10 a.m. Right now, it's all Minecraft except for Friday, which is, of course, Lego. And then Saturday is still at 1 p.m., and that's Minecraft again. And Saturday afternoons are just such a hotbed for Minecraft viewing that's kind of where that has to stay. Also, as I mentioned earlier, I've got a podcast at 10 a.m. this Saturday, and when we do bonus content for Spawn Chunks, that's where Johnny and I tend to put it. So it's a lot easier for me to just leave that open for the occasional bonus stuff, because otherwise every couple of weeks I'd have to change my stream to accommodate a podcast, and I don't want to do that. So Saturdays are going to stay at 1 o'clock. And I believe the Twitch schedule should adjust for your time zone. And yeah, I'm from the East Coast of Canada. I'm in Nova Scotia. So I'm 1 hour ahead of New York. So it's 10 a.m. Atlantic, 9 a.m. Eastern. Which always makes me sound like I'm announcing a news show. Growing up, a lot of our TV content was American. So you'd always get the like 9 Eastern, 10 Central, or whatever. I used to watch a lot of sports. I used to watch a lot of basketball. So NBC would always give like the different times for the games that were happening on the East Coast versus West Coast. Whatever this is, we're going to be building 2 of them, I think. Interesting how that creates like a stop for that. I thought that was going to go up all the way. That goes like that, and then this whole thing gets turned around and connected to this. How far does it go? All the way. This is wild. Yeah, so it's like the inner guts of his torso, I guess. Yeah. This might be his shoulder? I don't know. That's cool. All right. If it wasn't clear in the About section that you're from Canada, it was clear from the way you say About that you're from Canada. Very fair. It should be in the About section. I think it very clearly says I'm Canadian. Generally 1500 Central Eastern Time. Central Standard Time, is that what that is? 1500, so... Oh, Central European. I'm so used to North American time zones. 1500, so 12, 3. That's 3 o'clock in the afternoon? Do you have any tips on planning factories in Satisfactory? Mine always turn into a mess of spaghetti conveyor belts. Yes. I've got some VODs on Joel Duggan VODs, and recently I've been using, it's a program that's free on Steam. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Sandy or Cosmic, do you remember the name of the Satisfactory Planner app on Steam? I'll know it as soon as I hear it. I'll look on my next break, although this might be, yeah, this might be it today. Eclipse, I can also just send it to you later. It's not Satisfactory Planner, I don't think. No, we're not building the same thing over again. But yeah, to not like just throw you at an app, the ways to plan factories, I generally try to work backwards. So instead of trying to guess how many plates you need, how many rods you need, whatever, I think your first factory is not going to be efficient in terms of production. What it should be efficient at is filling your inventory with the stuff that you need. So like your first factory should be pushing things into bins for you, and they should clog. Like the bins should be full until you pull stuff out. And so that factory is always going to like ebb and flow and just kind of do your inventory. But then when you get into bigger production lines, a really good example, one of the first kind of really complicated thing you got to handle is reinforced modular frames. They're the black ones, and there's like a bunch of stuff that goes into them. Avoid screws if you can. If you can get the alternate recipes for avoiding screws in your production lines, you will be 100% happier. because screws are a real pain. But what you do is you just figure out how many of these heavy modular frames, reinforced heavy, I think it's called heavy modular frames. I think figure out how many of these heavy modular frames you want. Is it 2 per minute? Is it 5 per minute? Whatever it is. And then work backwards. Like just figure out, okay, if I need 5 of these, then I'm going to need 10 of those and 10 of those and 12 of those and 4 of those. And then you just kind of like, you fan back out. And then by the time you get back to the bottom of it, you know how many nodes you need, you know how many smelters you need. And that's something that Satisfactory Planner app is really good at doing. So that would be one way to do it. If you're not about, if you don't care about figuring it out on your own, the thing that the game doesn't do very well, and this is my biggest complaint, is that they don't really let you know how many of these things you're going to need later on. And so everybody wants to know, like, well, I don't want to build 5 of these and set up this factory to build 5 of these if I'm going to need 10 of these later. So there are tools now in the game to let you ramp up production. So like if you found that you've built 5 but you need 10, you could kind of like up the output power wise and then get more out of it. But it's one of those things where it might be better to just look ahead, you know, like go up on the wiki and just kind of like figure out, look ahead and say like, all right, well, how many things are heavy modular frames actually used in, or are they things that I just need for my inventory? And for that particular item, it's a mix of both. Like you need it for inventory. And so that's the thing. If you think you're going to need it for your inventory, what you should do, if you need 5 a minute for production, make 6 a minute and then have the overflow go into a bin, right? Like that's generally been my kind of mode of operation. If you go actually, when 1.0 came out, I did a new playthrough, which I eventually combined with my current playthrough. And I built in the grassy plains, I built transformer themed, actually speaking of transformers, I built transformer themed factories in that grassy plains starting area. And the whole initial series was about getting the storage room up and running. And I'm pretty sure I got 2 heavy modular frames. And the whole facility is just nothing but storage. That's the only purpose of it. And then I built computers and circuit boards and stuff in another facility. And it goes over a bunch of different stuff like the format, the formulas, but also like some decoration and stuff like that. I think it's a pretty good example of a decent starting strategy in Satisfactory. I don't think it was perfect. I think I was rushing through in some places, so it might go a little fast for brand new players, but I think it's a decent showcase of one approach. The main reason I didn't want to continue with that playthrough on its own is that I got to the point where I needed more power, and I had already built a giant 60,000 megawatt power facility on my main playthrough, so I just combined the saves. This looks really cool, but oh, did I put that together wrong? I think I've got that backwards. Crap. Can I get that out of there? Maybe? No. Hold on. There we go. All right. I had the grill going the wrong way around. That probably doesn't matter, but better safe than sorry. That's weird. The graphic here is not done right. That's correct. Then this goes right here. So that would be his abdomen, and this is probably where his chest connects. And this obviously gets covered up. Because this doesn't twist around at all. Such specific pieces. I thought they were going to move, but they're very much held in place. I've never seen brackets like that I keep wanting to say Minecraft. In Lego. Certainly I've never seen them in Minecraft. Curved in Minecraft? Nope. Not in a million years. I really want the new pieces that are in Minecraft to come to Java. Like, I really want vibrant visuals and the copper golems and the shelves to get into a Java snapshot. I really don't like Bedrock. I really don't like playing in Bedrock. I find it visually hard on the eyes, even without vibrant visuals. So we're making a lot of progress, but it's not going to look like much, I think. The other bags, I think, are going to have the finishing touches. Although this is only bag 4. Like, we're not even halfway done. Now we're building the other one of these. Such a cool movable thing. I wonder. Yeah, it has to be his arms. Circles in Minecraft are hedonistic. Yep. And if anybody has ever tried to build a circle out of the pixelated kind of pixel art circle designs, then they know just how much counting is involved. Brutal. Oh, missing piece. Last day of the industry vacation today, so most Swedes are back to work on Monday. Wow. That's crazy that everybody takes vacation at the same time. I would never work over here. I mean, I say that as someone that's self-employed. I don't get vacation. Like, if I take vacation, I'm just not getting, there's no such thing for me as paid vacation. I have to basically work extra for weeks to kind of build up a buffer. Like, when Johnny and I take a couple of weeks off over the holidays, I don't even really get to take that much time off from streaming because it's usually better for me to keep on going. So the podcast doesn't happen, but we still have to record like 2 extra episodes. So for the first 2 weeks in December, we record like 4 episodes, 2 a week. And then we push those out on a schedule over the holidays. It's worked out though. It means that we haven't missed a week in 7 years. Shabili Plays, raiding with a party of 2. Welcome in, Shabili. Thanks for sharing your viewers. What were you up to on Twitch today? Zero says, here in the Netherlands, it's 3 large batches, north, middle, and south. All building construction workers have a 3-week period off. Wow, very cool. Shabili was playing Minecraft. Welcome in, Mining Penguin. Hello, hello. Working through how to set up a server with chat. Oh, cool. Like working how to set up a Minecraft server? That's awesome. Is it like a patron server? I've got a new patron server coming out on the 1st of August, I believe. That's something I need to actually look at later. All right, so this is going to go on the other side here. We do Lego Let's Chats every Friday, folks, for folks that are coming in new with Shabili. I normally stream Minecraft, and I have a Minecraft podcast called The Spawn Chunks. And today, though, is Lego Day. It will be an open server. I just wanted to challenge my brain and tell myself I haven't gotten how to do it. Oh, nice. Open server. That's brave. I much prefer the community-based stuff. So for me, my server is going to be patrons. So if you're supporting me at a certain level on patreon.com/JoelDuggan, then you'll have access to that server. The current server, Infinity Cove, is going to go away. I'm going to download the world, back it up, and it will be, the new server will be a new vanilla world. So these are going to go in here. For stability, it looks like. I imagine you have to build up a certain amount of tension with this build, because if it's going to transform and be under, pressure to move, you've got to make sure that pieces that are liable to fall apart do not. And that is the end of bag 4. So it doesn't look like much. It's gotten a lot bigger, but it's very technical. It's got a lot of cool bits. There's some moving parts here that I think are shoulder related, potentially. We've also got some other fastening bits here. Some more's coming there. This moves, which is cool. Obviously that's his waist. And if we separate this stuff, these also move. So, right? So he doesn't really have, his feet can kind of turn. So he's got like some mobility. Optimus Prime is the same thing. He doesn't have knees, but he's got rotatable ankles. But that's cool. So then you can clip that together and do that. Neat. I like it. Oh, the set is the old info. Thanks. I will change that right after the stream. Yeah, it's the Bumblebee set. Hold on. I'll grab the box. That's the set we're working. Cool. Folks in my channel, if you want to go and check out Shabili Plays over on Twitch, they've obviously got a Minecraft server that's spinning up, as well as obviously playing some Minecraft as well. So do check them out. Thanks again, Shabili, for the raid. Really appreciate it. Folks, that's where I'm going to wrap it up for today. I need to head on out. These LEGO streams are a little bit shorter, mainly because I don't want to blow through this set in a couple of weeks. I want to try and do like 2 bags a week. So we will be back next Friday for bags 5 and 6 of the LEGO Bumblebee Transformer set. And I'll be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock Atlantic. That's UTC minus 4 hours internationally. For more Minecraft. We'll be playing on the Citadel server and working on finishing up West Hill. If you are a Minecraft fan, you want to listen to the Spawn Chunks podcast, it's free. It's available on all of your favorite podcasting platforms. It's also got a video version on YouTube. This VOD and the other VODs that I do are all on Joel Duggan VODs on YouTube. That might be where you're watching this already, at which point you can join us live on Twitch at Joel Duggan. I'm very easy to find online. Super simple. And I will point you, of course, towards Patreon. The people that support me on Patreon are one of the reasons I can do this. I take some of the money that I make and I can buy Lego sets to build up on stream. I put the money back into the studio and trying to stream more often. But really what's happening is the people on Patreon and on Twitch are supporting me directly and allowing me to do this for part of my job. And I really appreciate it. So thanks very much. I hope everyone has a fantastic Friday and I will see you tomorrow for Minecraft. Bye for now.